Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the Son of the Yahweh, the Messiah, which these are the true names of the Most High and His only begotten Son in the ancient Hebrew tongue, in Lashon Kodash, which means holy language. Also want to give devouring to the elder apostles, to the elder bishops, to the upcoming elders that rule well at JMS. I want to give peace and blessings unto the elect, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers pushing His truth, praying Lord willing His lessons edifying. My name is Zakaria. And the focus of this lesson is concerning this symbol that I came across a few years ago. I don't know exactly when, but I came across this symbol on a TV show, that I was watching back then. And from time to time, I always, recall this symbol. Now, I looked it up. This symbol has many meanings and definitions surrounding it. It's of ancient origin. It has some ties, if I'm not mistaken, to different forms of philosophy, to I think Gnosticism, or alchemy, which we don't deal with that. I don't deal with that. I consider it to be, those different forms of philosophy. I consider that to be evil. Now, the reason why I have it posted up is because when I think about this symbol, I think about Esau, which Esau, he symbolizes the serpent. He symbolized, or shall I say, the serpent, or the dragon, Leviathan. These are symbols used for Edom, right? Used for Esau, which the scriptures will tell you or speak about, shall I say, the prophets, the apostles. They will speak about the dragon, They will speak about Satan. They will speak about the old serpent. The prophet Isaiah, he spoke about Leviathan, which is all, dragon, serpent, Leviathan. It's all the same thing, reptilian-like creatures, if you will. And these things are used as a symbol for Esau. I already said that. But when you go into the scriptures and it's speaking about Satan or the old dragon, that's an epithet. And look that word up. That's an epithet used for Esau, which epithet means a descriptive phrase or term, basically a nickname. Saying in saying in the scriptures, or shall I say, when the prophets speak about saying, they not talk a lot of the times. They're not talking about the spiritual demon saying. They're talking about a particular people, man. A particular people. Which that's already understood. But if you haven't understood that, if you don't know it, now you know. Esau's the devil is Satan that the Bible speak of. He's the old serpent that the Bible speak of. Now, concerning this symbol, this really is a good, what's the word for it? Right? Is that the word, analogy? Or similitude for Esau's, lot in these last days, his fate. Because what he's going to do in these last days is going to return upon his own head. And the scripture speaks about that. In fact, everything this man did is going to return upon his own head. From the time he slew his brother Jacob, which is us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. We are the true children of Israel. That's going to return upon his own head. All his evil dealings and injuries that he have caused on this earth and to the nations by way of war, proxy wars, you know, all the evil schemes that he have caused and done against these other nations, you know, slaughtering and using wars as a ploy to increase gain. You know, all the evil that he have done and will do is going to return upon himself, and we're seeing that now on the world stage. You know, because the nations are now seeing this man for who he truly is. In fact, to prove that, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter I think 47. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 2. Matter of fact, we could just start at verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." Now, the virgin daughter of Babylon is referring to modern day Babylon, which is America. You know, Babylon is sometimes used as an epithet, even though it was an actual kingdom or rulership named Babylon in the ancient world. The Lord will still put this title or nickname for a future kingdom, which is today America. And sometimes the Lord will put the spirit on the prophets to do that. Put the spirit on the prophets to tag this ancient name upon the future kingdom. You know, and that's playing upon tables. You know, so don't stumble at the word Babylon, or even at the word Egypt. You know, thinking that they don't, thinking that, or it couldn't be concerning America. You know, it's just all, symbolic, It's a dark saying. You know, it says, "Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans." And America is about to lose its throne, its power, its authority on the earth, and it's losing it now. You know, the USD is losing its power and influence on the earth. The dollar, the U.S. military is losing its influence on the earth, because now the nations, they're growing strong, and that's their mentality, that they are growing strong, that they are becoming more reliant upon their own selves and upon others. Because right now, before, I don't think they would say post mean after, but before World War III, which World War III is prophecy, before World War III, you have the nations gathering together, strengthening their ties and relations. You have those Islamic and Arabian nations basically becoming more confident and bold in their dealings, in their military, and they're getting help by, other nations such as Russia. Right, Russia is the main helper or guard onto these other nations, but then you have Russia, and then you have China, and North Korea. You got Turkey, you got BRICS, the BRIC nations. Just gathering together, joining their sides, and that's what the Lord is, influencing. The Lord is putting that spirit on the earth. It says, "O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." But this the point, verse 2. It says, "Take the millstone and grind mill. Uncover the locks, make bare the leg. Uncover thy thighs, pass over the rivers." Now, what is that referring to? What that means is being exposed. Being exposed, being naked. Being revealed. And that's America in these last days, which is an Edomite kingdom. Esau, Edom, and America is being exposed. Not even only America, but which this is referring to America only, but also the Western world in general. But focusing on America, this place is being exposed. Cause think about a woman wearing a skirt, passing over a river where the water, covers the whole thigh or leg. You are able to see something that you're not supposed to see, something that was hidden. So that's a symbol of America being exposed. And that's what's happening. This place is being exposed for all the wickedness, all the injury, all the evil dealings, the footprint or the track record that this man have is being exposed for all that. And the nations, they had enough. They're angry. The nations are mad. And when the nations being mad, that's the Lord's wrath coming. Because the thing is, the Lord is not a power that needs to come down to the earth to handle his business. No, the Lord is omnipotent. And he have the power to influence the mind of kings. And they tell you that in the book of Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. The Lord, in the hand of the king, in the hand of the Lord is the heart of kings. And I'm loosely paraphrasing. You can read it yourself. Right? And he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is turning the minds of these world leaders to go in the direction that he will, that he desire. And what is the mind of these kingdoms? It's hatred towards the whore. It's hatred towards the Western world. What is the main motivator or motivation behind that hatred? The remembrance of what this kingdom have done when it was on the world scene. All the wars and the proxy wars, all the injuries that this man have caused for gain, for money, for oil. All the type of assassinations, all the wickedness that the FBI, the FBI have done. All the wickedness that all the American agencies have done. All the wickedness that this man have done through economic power. All the corruption that this man have done through economic power and military power. Which is a whole list, a whole track record that I cannot name right now. What this man have done over there in the Middle East. So that's being remembered and that's being recalled. Because it's not hidden. Truthfully, it never have been hidden. But now it's being called to attention. And what Esau didn't know is that now it's coming upon his own head. So this man, he have been devouring his own tail. Because this man have many enemies. And strong ones at that. It says, take the millstone and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And all the wickedness that this man have done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. You know, this man will suffer for that as well, because he touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which is the people of the Most High. You know, the children of Israel. So that's coming upon his own head as well. You know, so when this man was doing these things, he considered not that it's going to come back to bite him in the ass, in the behind, man. You know, when this man humiliated and harassed and abused these other nations, this man considered not that it will bite him in the behind. When this man did evil in general, when this man did evil to the children of Israel, he considered not that there's a power that's going to come upon him. When this man did evil to the people that was at league with him, you know, you got the thing called the United Nations, which formerly, if I'm not mistaken, it was called the United League. A League of Nations. I don't know, you forgive me, but it was a former nation. I mean, the former name of it, I don't think it was called. It wasn't originally called United Nations. I think it was called. It had League in it, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Right, but you got the United Nations and you got the Western world. Think of what this man have done against his own fellows. You know. And that's why somewhere down the line, according to prophecy, the Western world, particularly NATO, is going to end up hating the whore, meaning what? Hating America. You know, and that's mentioned in the scriptures. You know, and, you know, have part in devouring this place. So all the evil that this man have done against those that was at league with him, guess what? That's the same thing is going to happen to him. You know, all the different alliances, all the different covenants and promises and treaties and pacts that this man have and broken, guess what? That is going to come upon him. You know, you reap what you sow. You know, how many treaties that this man have done or broke? Covenants that this man have broke. Look what he did to the so-called Native Indians. You know, he had many treaties and covenants and promises with them. You know, with Jake, with the Northern Kingdom, how many have this man broken? Shall not the Lord repay for that? Shall not the Lord have vengeance? So this place has an end, you know, and the one at fault is itself, you know. You know, another aspect I wanted to touch on is this man's agenda, you know, the New World Order. You know, little do he know, when he approaches that agenda more and more, so doeth his own evil approach, his own destruction approach. Because this man New World Order, which is, you know, part of it is what? The MOTB, the mark of the you know who. Little do he know, when he draw closer to that, his end draweth closer to him. You know, he don't even know that he's fallen into his own, which he's following the course that was preordained for him. You know, and he can't get out of it. You know, so he's a tail devourer. He devours his own tail. You know, and there's many aspects to that. You know, From there, I want to go to the book of Psalm chapter 7, verse 14. You know, and when it comes to my, my lessons, sometimes I, jump across the board. I sometimes touch on different points. You know, this book of Psalm chapter 7, verse 14. Matter of fact, we could get verse 12. It says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. And this is concerning the Heavenly Father. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. And what is the sword of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? An instrument of death. And in these last days, that instrument of death is going to be missiles, nuclear war. Those missiles, those nuclear warheads, man. Those are the Lord's swords. Those are the Lord's instruments of death that he's preparing, that he's making ready for the destruction of America. You also going to have the destruction of Israel as well. That's going to happen as well. And different parts of the earth going, suffer harm. And a lot of people are going to die. You're going to have mass judgment, worldwide judgment. Right, but particularly focusing on America, America is going to be consumed utterly by fire and will never raise up. It says if he turn not, which the Lord's not going to turn from his prophecies. The scriptures tell you that these in fact, the thing was Paul, he basically implied that the Lord, he's not a man that he should lie. When it comes to his counsels, particularly his promises for the children of Israel, he made that promise, with the oath. And he made that promise, or he sworn that promise by his name, by his own name, shall I say. Lord, when I put it right. Right, so he's sworn by his own name. So his name is involved in it. Now, that aspect, when it comes to these promises, when it comes to the children of Israel receiving their inheritance, that's going to happen. The Lord is not a man that he should lie. But when it comes to the counsel in general, such as these prophecies and the prophecies concerning the downfall of America, prophecies concerning the Lord destroying America, bringing judgment, bringing death and destruction, that's immutable. The counsel of the Lord is immutable. Meaning what? Unchangeable. Cannot be altered. Cannot be changed. Cannot be unwritten, in other words. So the Lord, he's not a man that he should lie. He's going to bring these things to pass. So he's not going to turn from his own goal or his own purposes for this place and for this man. He has plans. And the Lord is of one mind. Job, he spoke about that. The Heavenly Father is one mind. And what it means to be one mind, meaning what? Having unswerving opinion and resolve and intense in mind, meaning what? You don't change. No one can alter your way of thinking. It says he will whet his sword, he have bent his bow and made it ready. Now, what is that bow in these last days? Those missiles, man. Which the Lord have many different forms of ways of judging, but in this case, he's going to judge by way of fire and radiation. It says he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity. And this concerning Esau, he travaileth with iniquity. And have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. And that's what this man have done. Through his activity on the earth, his steps on the earth, his works, his deeds, his acts, all this man have done have caused pain and suffering for other people, for his own people, for his own country. You know? And all this man have done is lie. Right? Use propaganda, use philosophy and religion. You know? Hey, Esau, he's the father of propaganda. You know? He's the father of manipulation. He's the father of societal manipulation, social influence, or social psychology. Now, when you go into that idea, go into that term, social psychology. Basically, this man, which is a real field of study, and Esau, he's an expert in that. You know, what this man have done, he always studied the psychology of society. You know, he learns how to politically lie and manipulate and influence. You know, he learned how to use the media to his own advantage. You know, this man learned how to produce mischief and falsehood. Now, what it means to bring forth meaning to produce. Now, when you go into production, right? Esau, he's dominant in what is it called? Production. Basically, he's dominant in media, which is a form of the production, and he used that to lie and manipulate. You know, propaganda. You could learn about that your own self. It says he made a pit and digged it, and it's fallen into the ditch which he made. So this man have digged the pit, which the pit that he's ready making these last days, which he made many pits, or he made a very big one with a lot of work throughout history, right? But part of that is what his new world order, man, and the things that he's gonna do to cause the Western or NATO to be angry, which that's prophecy, is gonna happen somehow, some way. You know. And not only that, we can also add Israel into that, the state of Israel into that as well. Because what Israel is going to do, he's going to bring forth, or he's going to be the cause of America being destroyed, or part of the cause. So watch what Israel doing in these last days, because he's going to influence, or he's going to prompt World War III some way, somehow. It says he made a pit and digged it, and it's fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate, meaning with his own head. You know? So this man, he's a damn snake. He's a tail devourer. He's going to devour his own tail. You know? And rightfully so. You know, because the things that he's done have accumulated throughout time, and it's going to be reaped. You know, it's going to be repaid him, and that's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You know, he's a power that repayeth your own doings. You know, you reap what you sow. You know, and it's a cliche, but this is the cliche that is true. You know. And he's not going to be able to escape it. You know, the Lord will make inquisition. You know what? The Lord will consider and regard and search up all the things they have done. And through the mouths of the prophets, that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is exposing Esau and revealing Esau. But the Lord already know it. But, you know, just, you know, for edification's sake, the Lord, He's considering it. You know, all the evil that he has done. all the evil that this country have done. You know? And the Lord is going to repay that. Right? And the prophets, the elder apostles, starting with the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, the prophets, the teachers, the different preachers, the different evangelists, the men of the Lord, in the affiliate camps, they're doing the work, they're teaching, and they're going out there in the highways and the byways and the hedges, using the internet, making lessons digitally, digital epistles, and making complaints by way of these lessons, by way of these teachings and ministry, making these different complaints, prophesying against this place, which is a form of a cry, which is a cause that these men are standing upon, prophesying against this place, exposing this place, teaching, edifying, which is, a form of a cry, man. And the Lord is going to hear it, and he's going to bring vengeance, which is a very righteous judge upon the earth, a judge of the whole earth, So I want to close off on that. Lord willing, this lesson's edifying, and we'll give double honors to the elder apostles, to the elder bishops, to the upcoming elders that rule well at GMS. I want to give peace and blessings unto the elect, and salute shalom to the fellow believers pushing his truth. And all praise and honor and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'ashmi, Yahweh Shai, shalom.